Now, Mr. Wallace Green, he shared a dream and vision. All of us have dreams and vision, don't we? You know we do. The difference in a lot of dreams, and it's starting by children, is sometimes we run across what I call dream stealers. People that tell you what you can't do, you won't do, you're too small to do. And somehow, we stop dreaming. But just looking at these faces that I'm seeing in here today shows me that there are powerful dreams still alive. I gotta let you guys know, whoever's, most of you probably never heard me speak before, I never use a script. I never read from a script. But I do always ask God to speak through me. Let the words that the people hear, let them feel the words, not just hear the words. I was born in North Philadelphia, June 15, 1973. Don't do no math, just play with me. All right? Youngest of 4 children. The inner city of North Philadelphia is not the most attractive place, if anybody's in here has ever been to Philadelphia. One of the things that, as a young child, that I knew that I probably would need in order to make anything out of myself was sports or entertainment. That's what you learn in the inner cities. I believe, and I speak all over the country, and a lot of times when I go to speak in the cities, I learn something, that they're all basically the same. In every state, they have a city that is a ghetto. But a lot of times what I tell the kids, especially children, because I love children so much, the ghetto is just a state of the mind. Just because you can't control where you were born doesn't mean you can't control where you go. You have to keep dreaming. Wallace kept dreaming. This room is bigger, and I know it was supposed to be extremely huge, but let me tell you something. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. Because God makes no mistakes. My mother had 4 children, single mom. To me, most powerful creatures on earth are single mothers. That's not to take away from single fathers. It's just not as many of them as there are single mothers that a lot of times have to raise young men. Can you understand the power that that must be for a woman to teach a boy how to be a man when she's never been a man? Well, her boyfriend looked at her one day. I was 14 years old. And he told her, your kids would never amount to anything. I was standing right there. The average lifespan of a young man in the city of Philadelphia is 18. That was the first time I ever confronted an adult and my mother allowed me to speak the way I wanted to speak. I might not have said it the way I really wanted to say it, but I did say something. He had children too, and he constantly threw up his children to her, telling all the great things that his children had done and all the things that her children hadn't and wouldn't do. Your 2 boys will be in jail before they get a driver's license. Me especially, because I was the youngest. But I was determined after he said that I was going to make a liar out of him. To be honest with you, yeah, I dreamed about playing football and basketball and doing all the things that I saw on TV. And I knew football was my passion, but I couldn't have football without my grades. So one had to take care of the other. But on that day, this man gave me what's most important for all of us to be successful. It is called a why. You need a why to be successful in anything you set out to do. The why is something that you love more than yourself. For mothers, the why is almost always their children. Should be fathers too, and there are some great fathers that do put family first. But when someone steals a dream, that's the devil at work. You have to recognize him because he's powerful. But if the devil exists, then God must exist. And God is more powerful than the devil. So when he said, your kids wouldn't amount to anything, and I was 14, I turned and looked at him and I said, I'm going to say his name. We family, right? We family? All right, don't put this on YouTube and stuff. Don't tell everybody. I don't know if the man looking for me. I told you he's law enforcement. I said, Mr. Johnny, one day, I'm going to be further along than you and all of your children combined. I'm going to tell you the truth. I said it out of anger. I said it out of anger. He said I was too small to play football. I wouldn't play beyond, high school. And I only played there because I was so fast. I don't know if anybody knows any of my background, but I played football at Simon Gratz High School, played basketball at Simon Gratz High School, Rasheed Wallace, a couple other players. And then I went to school in Texas A&M. I graduated at 17 years old, went to summer school just to push this stuff, but not because I just love school so much. I had a why. I did develop love for teachers. Educators became like extended parents for me. That's one of the reasons I love speaking to teachers. Show me your hands if you heard people tell you, don't just have option A, have option B, C, D, E, and F. You heard that before? Or just me? Is it me? Alright, can I tell you something? Don't get mad at me, y'all. I'm just talking to you, right? I'm just talking to you. I never had a plan B. I only had a plan A. Now, that plan A might have had other avenues to it, but there was only one plan: to give my mother the world and ask if I could live in it. It's not always the positive thing you need, family, that will push you through your fatigue. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's the person that said you couldn't do it. You want to show them, I told you so. Right? Yep. That's your fuel. People always say, don't listen to them, baby. Don't listen to them. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you to listen to them. Because that's where your unconditional strength is going to come from. You're going to be tired. You're going to be weary. But you can draw strength. I came into, my background is in sales, business. I have a business management degree. I went to Texas A&M and played football, full ride athletic scholarship. But I had to maintain a 2.8 GPA, because that also was a military school for those of you who don't know. So I went from Philadelphia to Texas. First time being away from my family, 17 years old. Best friend, when I came back from break, my best friend was killed while I was on my 2-week break. And I was still a child, let's face it. So I wanted to get with my friends, let's go take care of it. Again, the devil surfaced to try to block my blessings. This is when your faith is tested. Your faith, your character is never truly tested until you are faced with adversity. Success does not build character. adversity does. No one you know, all of you that are good at something, are good just coming right out the womb. You went through something. You have mettle. My father died when I was 20. He had a heart attack. 70 years old. My dad was 50 when I was born, so I was raised old school. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. To everyone, not just to mom and dad. Even though they didn't live in the same household, I drew love from both. And one of the things I tell the victims of the nation, you're only a victim because you choose to be. Just because your parents are not in the same household does not mean they don't love you. It means they couldn't get along. That might have been the blessing that they separated. Right? Because the last thing a child needs to see is dad beating up on mom. Especially when you teach that young child to respect women. You say respect women and then you punch mom. That's not a good lesson. Which one am I going to listen to? The words or the action? Right? Well, my mother was everything to me. She was the reason why I really pushed. So God showed me that He had to be everything. Because I was 28 when she died. And I really didn't care if I lived or not after that, because I didn't have anybody to show off for anymore. At least I didn't think so. Now, I became extremely successful very quick in Fairfield Resorts. I started off at the very bottom. There were 18 people in the graduating class. And everybody kept saying, this guy's not going to make it. So once again, here we go. He's too playful. He's too young. Hasn't lived long enough. I was 25 at the time, y'all, just so you know. I had $256 in my bank account when I went there. I told the trainer that I had 6 months of my rent saved up. My rent was $450 a month. I had to say that so he let me in the training class late. Because they had already started. But the why was too great. My mother was still living at the time, and I wanted to show her that at least one of her children was going to be what she thought we could all be. When the why is great enough, the facts don't matter. So, the first 6 months of that year, I slept in the car for 2 months. Because I refused to go back to Philly. I knew if I go back, I'll never achieve anything. I had to go through this. This was my cross to bear. And if I let my mom take care of me again, God was still going to take her in 2001. So we're only talking about 2 years. We all dream. We all dream of being successful at something. And it's our choice that we were given on whether or not we're going to be successful. I chose to be successful or die. Wallace Green chose to live and do dialysis rather than die. We always talk about diseases and ailments as if that's the only thing that kills people. Well, heartbreak, depression, stress, which is an agent of all the things we're talking about, that kills people too. That's why I said smile more. No matter how bad things seem to be for you, you can change it today. But you got to change it mentally first, before it'll ever change physically. Respect everybody you come in contact with so you can earn respect. And once you have it, don't lose it. Don't lose it. There are 3 types of people in this world. Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder, what happened? What happened? What did he do? What did he say? That's why I applaud all of you today. Because you're here. You fought the weather too. We all dealt with the snow and ice. That's not to knock the people who are supposed to be here and not here. That's a choice. Some will be successful and some won't. That's just the way the world is. Don't straddle the fence, jump on over to success. From June of 99 to December 31st of 1999, I went from earning $17,000 in the first part of the year and the whole year before that. I gotta tell you this because, you know, one of the things I do in my speaking is teach people how to get out of debt, how to build business, how to become wealthy. But there is a difference between rich and wealthy. You do know that, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So I had that $457 in the old bank account there. How am I gonna pay the rent? Slept in the car for those 2 months so I didn't have to pay the rent. No lights on anyway. No water, nothing, right? By the end of the year, I had $132,000. The IRS audited me because they said they wanted to see, I remember her name was Charlene. Right here in Hampton, I had to come down here with my accountant. I was scared to death. I thought I did something wrong because I made some money. Something, you can do it. You think, wait a minute, how did he go from 17,000 to 132? We got to see who this guy is. Is this Nino Soprano? I just mixed it up. Nino Brown, you know. I like the Sopranos, so, you know. You know, just have fun, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there, and I'm scared to death. I bank at First Advantage. I had a $10,000 bonus check in my hand. I had never seen that much money in my life. On a practice team, I didn't make that much money. Just so y'all know, practice players don't make what you see the roster players make. You don't get the signing bonuses or any of that. You still have to have a job. But that time had been over. I had to tell her that $10,000 check, and everybody in the bank stared at me because she went back there to talk to the manager. And they closed the door. So I'm scared too. I'm thinking, is that check real? I already thought it wasn't real anyway, right? Is this Monopoly money? Let me tell you why I'm telling you that story there. I never looked back from that time. But what made me truly successful financially was being successful spiritually. Let God have it. I had to be broken down to my very last compound for me to truly give myself to Him. When He knew I was ready, then He took my queen. She had done her job here. I had to understand that because I was mad at Him. I'm like, you want me here on this earth by myself, nobody that cares about me. Woe is me. You do not have to be the victim all the time, guys. Sometimes you be the victor. Sometimes you be the victor. So when I buried my mother, right before I did, we talked. She made me promise her I would keep going. She asked me to find a good lady because I had so much love to give. Wow. She never talked about that when she was living and we were playing. I think she knew I was going to be the one to take care of her, and I couldn't put a woman before her. Just couldn't do it. But when she left, 2 years later, becoming the most successful timeshare rep in the industry, after being the person that was going to be let go in 10 more tours if I couldn't sell it, I was blessed with a queen yet again. And it is my wife, and she's sitting right there. Her name is Cherokee Edwards. Everybody can see her right there. It's my best friend. And I'm not just saying it because she's sitting right here. I had her parents 3 years before I met her. They were clients of mine. So that goes to show you what can happen if you take care of your clients. Your clients can be family, right? They can be stuck with you forever. But the power that's inside of me now, I can't control it. Because all I want to do is share. That's all I care about is making somebody smile. I can't stand seeing somebody walk past somebody or me and not say hello. If I say hi, I expect that person to say hi back. Don't you?
Yes.
That's why you said hello. You reach out your hand, don't you want me to reach my hand back? Who cares who did it first? Right? You sit next to somebody on a bus, you can say hi. They might not bite you. You get on the elevator, you don't have to go to the back, so you don't have to speak to anybody. You ever see somebody do that? You know, one of the reasons why I can't stay at this podium, I can't demonstrate, I like to use a physical analogy. I'm going to try it right quick. Because some of y'all in here, the ones I'm talking about, if you ain't laughing, it's probably you. Elevator doors open up. Right here. Can everybody see me when I'm doing this in my hands?
Yes.
Alright, they open up the doors. And you get on the elevator like this. It's about, let's say it's 5 people in the elevator. And you do this. I'm going to say the young ladies to my left are on the elevator already. I'm getting on. Doors open up. Watch this. Watch this. You're going to be one of the two. Watch this. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing you do is you tell the person in the front, hey, can you hit 6 for me? You deserve it. Because you made yourself the elevator director, didn't you, by putting yourself in the corner? You know you did. You know you did. I went from living in the car to earning millions of dollars, and not by playing sports. The blessing is not the millions of dollars. It's not. It's not the Rolex watches, the rings, the cars. It's not that. The blessing is freedom. The blessing is the fact that people will come to see you just because you're speaking. They know you got something to say. That's why I don't use scripts. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breaths away. Agree? Didn't act like it, right? I'm serious. This is the day. This is the 25th. This Saturday afternoon, right? 26th, thank you. Stay with me now. I was testing you now. I didn't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. All the days was doing this, right? I could give you $1,000 right now. Some of y'all say, give it to me. My man will already tell me, give me something. Let me hold something. That's family. That's what you get. Family reunions. That's what you get. You know. Come on, work with me, Hampton. But what I want to do, rather than give you $1,000, I want to teach you how to earn it. So when I walk away from you, you're well taken care of. Huh? Insurances. Y'all see the commercials. What would happen if the breadwinner of the family is not there? How would your family survive? And you snatch the guy out with the thing, right? Everybody see the commercial? Right? Sometimes they can snatch the mama out sometimes, right? Because sometimes mama's the one doing that. Say, oh, daddy gone anyway, good. Right? Think about it. Think about it. When you love somebody more than you love yourself, sometimes you can be insurance bored. Can't you? Because you never have enough when you love somebody that much. We talk about the things that you need. Preventative maintenance is pretty good. Exercise an hour a day. Drink water sometimes instead of just sodas. Juice, right? I love this because you get educated. I walked around the room and I got educated today about a lot of things I didn't even know. I didn't know the difference between Coke and Coca-Cola until I went to that booth right there in the middle. I met a very close friend. This is what you have the opportunity, especially you new people that this is your first year. And even the families that came last year, you guys, you know you really need to be doing your thing. This is a networking event. It is an educational networking event. It is our paradise right here. Don't always work hard. Sometimes work smart. Now you can work hard at that. Don't sleep. Because if you sleep, you slept. Dream. But don't just dream. Wake up and create it. Start to move toward it. Start to move toward it. Nobody cares how much you know about anything until they know how much you care. If they think you don't care about them, they don't care about what you got going on. Y'all know it. Tell me the truth. Then some of y'all walk around here and some of these booths say, let me just get your pamphlets, let me keep it moving. You start talking, you don't have to say it. I know you did it. I've done it before too. And it's not just me. You sit there and you can't wait to tell somebody what you do. But you really don't care about what they do. And how can you expect them to care about what you do? Somebody has got to show a little love, a little tenderness. They wrote a song about it. I ain't singing it. Because if you just have knowledge of something, it does nothing for you unless you activate the wisdom. Wisdom is applied knowledge. Just to know something is not enough. You must apply it. Right? Love more. Laugh more. Work together. If I leave you with anything, I ain't going to talk you to pieces. I'm about ready to wrap this thing up. I don't even like standing behind this podium. I want to see y'all closer. Learn how to work together. Start today. I promise you, the networking that can happen in this very room could free every single person that is doing something in this room if we just abolish selfishness, which is what we were born with. Everybody in here was born selfish. Every baby is born selfish. We have to grow and mature to stop being selfish and help others for absolutely nothing. Thank you and God bless.